Okay. Anyways, so welcome to day 5 of JavaScript training. Let me go ahead and then get started with two array operations that we missed yesterday. So that was splice and then slice. So I was just typing down saying that consider your splice as butter knife, okay, and then slice as your regular knife.
Okay.
So the
Yeah.
reason why I'm saying is, so just let's just start observing what we do with your butter knife or regular knife. Okay, so let's start with regular knife. So what we do with your regular knife, we just take it in order to chop anything into pieces, either two piece,
Mm.
three piece. It doesn't really matter, right? So you either cut, you just cut something into some portion, right? It could be one third, right, or 50-50, anything, or you just chop into different segments, right? That's how you use your regular knife. You just use it to
Yeah.
chop. Now again, come back to butter knife. So what you do, you use butter knife in order to apply butter or jam in between your two breads.
Mm.
Okay, that means two breads are already there. You are putting something in between,
Mm.
right? You are able to
Yeah.
add something in between. Okay, that's first choice. Or you can also use it in order to remove the extra butter from the ends.
Mm.
Correct? So it is used
Yeah.
for both the purposes. Correct? Splice is used
Yeah.
to add something or to remove something, your splice butter knife, whereas your
Yeah.
slice regular knife is used only in order to cut something, right?
Yeah.
So with that in our head, let's just go ahead and then learn about slice and splice in any other tutorials. So let's just go and then click this W2 W3 schools. You have a slice here. Okay,
Mm.
so look at how, so this is splice. Okay, so what did I talk about splice? Splice is used to add something or delete
Remove
something,
so.
right? So this is your fruits array.
Yeah.
Okay, and then so look at what they have done. They have used something called as fruits dot splice, which is regular array dot regular array function, but in bracket you have some parameters. Okay, so the parameters is, the first parameter is the index of the beginning. Okay, it is beginning index, so from where you should start.
Yeah.
Okay, the second element says how many elements you have to delete.
Delete.
Okay, and then the final two or final whatever, how many ever they are, they're just adding. Okay, they represent what to add in between. Okay,
Yeah.
so what this example says is you have banana, orange, apple, mango. Okay, and then looking at this zero at the second position, you say don't delete anything.
Mm.
Okay, but at the second position, which is what, 0 1, so this is 2. Okay, before
Yeah.
apple or after orange. Okay, either you can count 0 1 2, or you can just say okay 1 2, orange is done, so now next one. Okay, so
Mm.
what you need to do, you need to add lemon and kiwi. So banana, orange, lemon, kiwi,
Then
apple,
kiwi,
mango.
apple, mango.
Okay, that's how it will look like. Let's go ahead
Yeah.
and then execute this right here. Okay, so you see this is fruits array. So now can you see this? Banana,
Yeah.
orange, lemon, kiwi, apple, mango.
Mm.
Now, with this in your head, just tell me what will I do in order to remove those lemon and kiwi back. So what
Bo-
I need to change? I need to remove this lemon and kiwi now. I said this is the starting index. This is the number of elements to delete, and these are the elements you can add. So with whatever in your head, I've talked to you about. So can you just tell me what I need to remove from here and what I need to change?
I guess that 0 goes to 2.
Okay, because you are removing two elements, correct? Absolutely fine. And then, so will this work?
Mm.
This will not work. It's just because what you're doing is you're starting at two index, which is
Mm.
correct. Okay, you're deleting two items, which is also correct, which is lemon and kiwi, but you're also adding two items at the same position. Okay, so that means that will remain same. So what you need to do, you just need to remove this. Okay, so now if you come back, you will see apple, banana, orange, apple, mango. Okay.
Okay.
Now, considering the old example again, I'm going back and then keeping it as it is. Okay. So you want to replace lemon and kiwi with peach and banana. Sorry, peach and say strawberry. Okay. So
Okay.
that time your example would have been helpful. How? You would say peach and then say butter or something, or guava.
Yeah.
Right. Now what is happening? You are
Go.
starting at two position, deleting lemon and kiwi, but instead of lemon and kiwi, what you are doing? You are adding peach and
Pizza.
guava.
Go.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah.
So as I said, splice is used in order to delete also, or in order to add also. So if you do not delete anything, you are simply adding.
Yeah.
Got it? So that is the
Yeah.
use case of splice. So go ahead and then read the more description, and try to do more examples for this. Okay, we just did, but go ahead and then do more. Okay, that is about your splice. So let's go
Yeah.
ahead and then click on your slice. Okay, and now slice is, as I said, it just talks about what to delete. Okay, that's it. Okay, it doesn't really care about what to add. Okay,
Yeah.
so now let's go ahead and then look at slice example. So now look at fruits. It still has banana, orange, lemon, apple, and mango. Okay. Now the moment I am creating a new array, or just remove this. So let's say, okay, fruit slice 1 comma 3. So what is happening is, your again the 1 stands for starting index, but 3 stands for before the ending index. It does not stand for ending index. It stands for before the ending index. Okay. This is start position. Okay, see banana, orange, so 0 and 1, so 1 you're getting it. Okay, but 2, 3, so 3 you're supposed to get apple, but you're not getting that. The reason is you're getting less than it. Okay, so it will look more like this. Okay, so start greater than or equal to elements and
Yeah.
okay, this will look more like this. So all the elements that you fetch would be greater than or equal to your start index, but less than your end index. Okay, got it?
Yeah.
Now, what if I want to, go ahead and then, okay, let me just, check the fruits array. Okay. So you are seeing that fruits array is still intact. So what is happening is, while splice was actually modifying the original index, sorry, original array, you can see that slice is not actually mutating it. Do you remember, like if you go back and look at splice, okay, so what was happening was, the moment you do this splice 20 lemon kiwi whatever, right, the original array was automatically getting modified,
Yeah.
correct? But with slice, what just happened, we'll just go back. Okay, and then we did slice, and then if you look at fruits again, it's still the same. You're getting it?
Yeah.
So slice will only give you the elements, so it is actually returning things. It is not actually modifying the original array.
Already.
Okay,
Yeah.
now, but whereas your splice was actually modifying the original array.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's
Yeah.
first thing. And second thing is, okay, what if I want, all the elements after orange, so what would I do? Okay, because I do not know the end index. The fruits array might be say 1000 or 1214 elements in that. You don't even know the exact count. So in that case, what you would do, you would just delete the end index. Okay,
Yeah.
you want from lemon, so start from index, that particular index. Okay, so
Yeah.
or you can just remove the comma and then put it like this. Okay, both works absolutely fine.
Okay.
You can either put 2 comma and saying that 2 is the starting index and there is no ending index, or you can simply say 2. Okay, because it's just the starting index. Okay, so when you do not know what is the length of this particular thing, I mean, obviously you will know. You want to say, fruits dot length, sorry, dot length -1, something like that, something like this you can do, or till length you can fetch, right? So you can do this, but it's a shorthand, right? Anyway, this is a shorthand, it works absolutely fine. So let's just go ahead and then use that. Okay, that's about your slice and splice. Okay, So go ahead and then read about this sort and then rest of the other things. Okay, go ahead and then
Okay.
read about rest of them. So what I would want you to do is maybe you just go ahead and then do every. Okay, do find, filter.
Okay.
Okay, and
Filter.
then say for each,
For each.
and then do reduce right, shift unshift. Okay, and then map also. Map is
Yeah.
really important. Okay,
Yeah, okay.
okay, just give me a second. Okay, I'm good. Okay, so that's about your splice and splice. So going forward, so what other thing do you have? Do you have any other things, other questions that I did not answer? We did both, we did all this push pop and then counting and everything, right? So can we go
Yeah.
ahead and then do the next things, which
Yeah.
is about objects? So did we do objects or did we not do objects?
We did a bit of objects.
Okay, but that was just introduction, right? We did not do any dot notation
Introduction.
and stuff. Okay, so let's
Yeah.
go ahead and then do that. So again, so as we previously talked about, object is defined like this. So
Key
say
value
var
pair.
object or let object equal to flower bracket, and then within that you will have key value
Key
pairs,
value.
right?
Yeah.
And then say key2 is equal to value 2 and so on, right? This is how you
Yeah.
defined. Okay, sorry, what did I miss? I missed a comma here. Instead of that I put that. Okay, so if you just click on object now, you will say key1 is equal to value 1 and then key2 is equal to value 2. Okay, so
Right.
that's about your building a JavaScript object. So that's first thing. Or you can do it this way. So you can say where object2 is equal to new object, and then inside that you can define same things. Okay,
Okay.
so both serve absolutely fine. Got it? Either you can do new object or you can simply start creating an object. Both are okay. Okay, so the moment you do a new property, so a new memory locations get allocated for this particular object that you create. Okay, but same thing happens with this as well. Okay, so just go ahead and then read about what
Both are same.
both are same, but I want you to read about a new keyword. So what does that exactly do? Okay, so read about that and then get back to me, and then we'll discuss about that, because new is not just so I mean we will start using that lot of that in things that we are going to do in future. Okay, so
This
just go ahead and
dynamic
then
memory location.
sorry,
No. Dynamic memory location. Something like
I'm not able to hear you.
means
Dynamic.
the new keyword, the dynamic memory location. That's something like that.
Okay, fine. I said read about it, make notes, and then get back. Okay,
Okay.
anyway, so then the next thing that we are learning about is how to access properties inside object. So it is simply using dot notation, which says obj dot whichever key you want to access. Okay, either you want to access
Okay.
key or you want to access key2. Okay, you just
Yeah.
put a dot and then access it. That's how you do using dot notation. Or you can do it the way you do it for array. So that is like this. Okay, this is also absolutely fine. Okay, you can either use dot notation or you can use this brackets notation in order to access the elements inside the object.
Yeah.
Okay, and then so that's about this too. Okay, now or you can access the object properties with variables. So what I mean by that is, so you can just go ahead and then say k is equal to key. Okay, k is equal to, I give key. Okay, now I can just do object of a. Got it? You can assign your key name to a certain variable and then directly use that here inside the brackets.
Okay.
Okay, that's also possible. So why I'm telling you all this is because you might find scenarios where you will get a list of users for example, and you want to find details based on some username or some unique ID for a user, right? So that is already there in a variable. Okay, and then you just use that variable in order to access that particular user information directly. Okay, something like that. So you'll find those examples. And the next is accessing, we are done updating object properties. So you can simply do object.key is equal to value. Instead of value, right, you'll just say val, and then go back to object. You can see that it got updated. Okay,
Okay.
so just do a dot notation and then update the value with whatever you want instead of previous value. And same goes
Sure.
true for all this. I mean, you can access it however you want. Just do assignment operator and then it works all good. Okay, so the next thing is, so you can also do something like this: key 3 is equal to value 3. Now if I just go back and then do object, what do you see? You
Another.
see,
Oh,
yeah, another
yes,
key got added, right? So that is also updating. You can update the existing elements, or you can update the, you can add the new elements into the
new element.
object. Okay, again by simply using dot notation.
Dot. Okay.
Okay, now
Yeah.
this is true when you declare elements with both var, let, or even constant. Okay, it doesn't really matter. Like, so for example, you say constant user and then say empty array, and then later on you say user dot name is equal to Shreyas, and then say user, you get it. Okay, so this is so previous object that we created was var, but now the new object that we created was user constant, and we were seeing that you can add new properties irrespective of whether the object was created as const, let, or var. Okay,
Yeah.
now so that's about updating, adding, and then deleting. So delete, it's just using delete keyword. You just say delete. When you say delete object dot that particular property name, so I just added key 3, I'm gonna delete key 3. So before I delete that, I'll just print this here so that you know what is there inside right now. So I say delete object key 3. So again, if I just say object, you will see that that key 3 does not exist anymore. Correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so but if you want to say delete only value, how would you do it? Okay. You just want to say delete only value, you don't want to delete key. Okay, so go ahead and then do that exercise as exercise. Okay, delete only the value for a object property. Okay, so it should say key 2 is equal to undefined or key 2 is equal to null. How do you do it? So one way is directly by going and then doing object dot key is equal to null, right?
Sure.
So if you do this, you will see it, or you can say undefined. Right, now again, if you just go ahead and access, you will get undefined. Okay, that's one way. See if you can find any other way. Okay, now
Yeah.
so the next thing is using objects for lookups. Again, that's exactly, I meant that lookups as in you just use dot notation in order to look up for something. So but if you want to get the properties, so I mean, if you want to know that whether key 3 now exists or not in the object, so what you do is you just do something called as has on property. Okay, that's again an inbuilt function, and you look for the property name. Can you see key 3 now in object? No. So that's why it is giving you false, but key is there.
Yeah.
So it is giving you true.
True.
Okay, so that's about testing for object properties. Okay, and then again manipulating complex objects and accessing nested objects is again it's exactly same. So for example, if I say user dot address is equal to city, which city are you from?
What is?
Guwahati.
Yeah.
And then state is Assam, right? Sorry,
Awesome.
yeah. I just don't want to sound like I do not know Indian. Okay, so pin code is 12345 okay. Now
Yeah.
if I want to go ahead and then access user, you will see user like this. It's a nested object. Okay, where state is Assam. So for example, say you moved to Bangalore back. Okay, so the pandemic is over now. You are doing a job in Bangalore, one of the reputed companies in Bangalore. So if you want to change the city and then state now, how would you do it? You have to do user dot address dot city. You see, this is what I meant by accessing nested object. So just keep doing dot 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 dot. Okay, because inside that also you again have object only, but assume
Yeah.
that user dot say phone number is there. Okay, and then you added, initially you had only one phone. Okay, so which was say landline 08067543221. Okay, later you got a mobile, because now that you're 18 plus, your dad thought that okay, it's okay to have a mobile for himself now, so let's get him a mobile. Okay, so you added mobile also. Okay, so this one and then this one. Now if you go and then look user object, now it looks something like this. Address is an object while phone number is like this. So if you want to access the second phone number, which is your mobile number, how do you access it? User dot, tell me,
Phone number.
phone number, and then
That array
array
one.
1. That's all.
One.
Okay, so it totally depends on whether it's a nested object or whether it is an array inside the object. Okay, so the accessing is still remains same. Okay, accessing remains same for based on your data type. Okay, that's all we wanted to just check in this. So that's about your objects. So go ahead and then again go back and then read about all the different sort of what do you say, dude, what do you, why do I keep forgetting words? Yeah, different sort of functions, the inbuilt functions that JavaScript gives for objects. So go ahead and then do them. Okay, so I don't see them here, so just see if JS objects are there somewhere. Okay, so just go ahead and then start doing all those operations. Okay, and same thing goes for strings also. So we're not going to talk about strings much. Okay, so just because they're little easy to go with, so just go ahead and then do them. For example, you want to do uppercase something, you just use something called as two lowercase or two uppercase.
Yeah.
Okay, you want to convert something to string forcefully, then you do dot to string. Okay, you want to find out a
You
substring
can
of
use
something.
parse identity string.
Sorry, what?
Parse string.
Yeah,
Like
parse
you
string also you
convert.
can use. Yes, you can use that, but that is you're using with JSON, right?
Yeah.
So this one, right? So this is parse float, parse end, that is for that. But that parse string that you're talking about is only with JSON objects. Okay, it's not there. There's no function called as parse string. There's only parse int, parse float. So if you want to convert the something to string, you can directly say string and then put something inside in between there.
Okay.
Okay, and then you'll get a string. So for example, even if it is a number, right, you'll get a string. Or you can say 1 2 and then say no, I'll not remove this, I'll remove this, and then say 2 string. Okay, something like this. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, where is 2 string? I think I would like to look for example for that. Okay, so it's already string. Okay, so what is the definition? Okay, it returns the value of a string object. Okay, it's not used to convert something. So if you want to convert something, you just directly use string and in between just put that value. Okay, okay, something like this. Directly use string and then in between you put your value and then you'll get it. Whereas the string dot to string is just used to get the value of string. Okay, so that's about that. And then date. So again, so date, I want you to do it by yourself. I'll just give you a hint on how to go ahead and then start working with functions. So go ahead and then add a new variable called as date object or something, and then new date is how you create a date object.
Okay.
Okay, and if you pass date in between, you will get a so where is date should be somewhere here. Yeah, JS date is here. Okay, so you see, you can either directly create a new date or you can give date value inside that, and so that it returns you parsed date thing. So for example, if I say just give me a date. So first let's see date object now. Okay, this is how it looks like, right? Okay, this is how it looks like right at the moment. So it is July 3 2021 Saturday, 851, 851, 56. So you can see that everything is coming in your localized format. Okay, but let's go ahead and then say d object and then say new object. So new date and then say what is your date of birth?
Yeah,
I mean
my
just random. Say give a random thing.
110, 1988,
110, say 1998, 1999. Okay,
8,
so yeah, fine. 8 or 9. Fine. Okay, so if I just give it, so what do you see here? You
the
see,
date
it
birth.
says January 10, 1998, because the default format that it is expecting is date, and then month, and then date, and then year. Because my computer is set to another format. Okay, that's the reason,
Format.
yeah. So you can set your browser to use, Indian English or US English and stuff. So my computer is set to different locale. So that's the reason, month is coming first. Okay, but maybe you do it and you'll get 110 as 1st of October 1998. Okay,
Yeah. Okay.
so now look at this date object. So the moment you created a date object, right? So just click on dot and you will see lot of things, lot of inbuilt functions, which is get date, which will give you a
Yeah.
exact date. So this one, right?
Okay.
Look at this one. Okay, or you
Hmm.
can see get month, get day, days for Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, right? Those kind of day. So so it is giving you 6th, which is Saturday.
Yeah.
Okay, out of 7 days, it's 6th day, something like that. And then you can get hours, months, seconds, time. Okay, you can get everything here. Got it?
Yeah.
So, and you can also do set. Okay, so just go ahead and then do get and set for both of these things. And then you can also see you can convert these dates into different standards. You can convert them to GMT timing, you can convert that to ISO timing, you can convert that to your locale timing, or even UTC string. So just go ahead and then read about all these things. Okay, what are
Okay.
those different time formats? Just go ahead and then read about them.
Yeah.
Okay, so now can you see this? So my local timing is 8:51, whereas GMT timing is what? 3:21, because it
Yeah.
is 5.5 hours before, right? We are at plus 5:30, correct?
Yeah.
So it is
Yeah.
giving you minus 5:30.
Hmm.
Okay, so that's about your date objects. And then so as I said, go ahead and then read about how do you do how do you iterate in date. Okay, how do you manipulate things. Okay, go ahead and then see if you can access if you can manipulate using map, and you can see if you can somehow use for each or for loop on top of objects, JS objects. Okay, so simply just see about how to loop through object. Okay, loop through objects in JS, so you might get different things. Okay, so that's about it. And then I think before we will do branching, iteration, loops, and everything tomorrow. So one other thing that I would like to do is something called as dot notation. Triple dot or rest operations. Okay, so say for example you have a object, or let's say we'll start with array first and then we'll go to object. So you have array 1 2 3 4 5 6. Now
Yeah.
if I want to create a new array, okay, with existing elements from array, but add 7 and 8 to the end.
Okay.
Can you see this? What I did?
Yeah.
I just did 3 dots. So this is acting as what? Spread operator.
Ready.
It is spreading. Okay, spreading the elements. Instead of you typing 1 2 3 4 5 6, what I did, I just spread those elements. Correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
Dot stands for spread in this particular case. Thanks for watching. For more updates, please like, share, and subscribe to Code Multiverse channel.